Yo, everybody, what is up? OCD Mikey, Hi-Fi Guy for another edition of the Mikey live stream show. And I just realized earlier today when I set my thumbnail for to tell everybody I was doing a live stream, I did it this morning. It kicked it back and did not send my thing because now they have a new limit on my thumbnail size. Needs to be 2 megabytes, no bigger. And I used to could put 7 megabytes up there. So that made it a little, it kicked it back. So that's why you guys didn't see that I was doing live stream until right now. So hopefully everybody is still expecting me to be here on Wednesday night, which I usually do when I'm not traveling. And we'll let the funnel fill up, if you will. And today I'm just gonna sort of I don't have a full thing written out like a lot of times I do. I've been really busy shipping stuff, man. Holy crap. And I hear it's slow as hell out there for the dealers. I've got some funny stories about some dealers and what the shit that these dealers do to you guys about following up on sales, man. Wow. They won't leave you alone. They bug your ass to get your money. They're so desperate that they have to follow up. I'll tell you what, I don't recommend you buy from anybody that's chasing your ass down for the sale. You know, that's just too desperate. I don't do that out of respect for my buyers. Out of respect for my buyers, you call me, you're interested in something, we talk a little bit, and then I drop it, man. I let it go. I don't call you back to follow up. I don't try and keep closing the deal because, look, if you want it, you'll come and get it. I don't need to convince you that you need to buy something. That's not my my skill, or it's not my prerogative to make you guys to convince you that you need to buy something. But it seems as though many or at least some of the dealers, because I hear from you guys out in the field what's happening, just, you know, full court press someone when they call about getting about making a sale, or they're interested in something. Hey Dave, what's happening? Good to see you. What's up, Lowell? What's up, David? I was just thinking about you today, David. David has got some great music online. Feel free to plug your website, David, if you want to plug it in. So yeah, if anybody has anything, just go ahead and bring it, because I have a couple things that I can talk about. I'll tell you the story. Someone came, yeah, just type it in, David. I'll tell you a story that came to me the other day. Someone came by listening to a DAC, and they had been to a dealer's in a different state earlier, like a couple weeks back, and or a month or so back. And they listened to a DAC. The dealer made them some price on it. It was the MSB DAC, and then this guy just walked because he had to think it over, and he wasn't really sold on the MSB. He didn't, it was okay, but he wasn't really sold on it. And this dealer calls him every week. Hey, what about that MSB? What about that MSB? What about that MSB? That's how desperate they are. And then he said, so the guy who was buying said, or the potential customer was like, hey, I don't think I can afford it, or whatever, money's tight or whatever. So the dealer sent his loan guy, because he works with the loan company on the East Coast, and he just gave the number of the guy who came into his shop to the loan guy, and then the loan guy starts calling him up, trying to get this guy to take a loan for something around 10 grand, which is like ridiculous. I'm like, wow. And I know who the dealer is, and I know that fucker must be desperate, and this is what you guys have to contend with. Desperate crumb suckers that are trying to bleed the piss out of you. Regardless if it's good timing for you to buy or not, they don't give a shit. They're just going to try and close the deal. They don't even, I talked to somebody else that had bought a used preamp, right? And I said, oh shit. And it was a used expensive preamp. It was like a $32,000 preamp. They bought it for 15 grand because it's one of the brands that's hoard out. And but it's got a big name, so people get all excited when the big names have half price tags on them. And he ended up buying a preamp, an expensive preamp, and a cheap DAC, and he doesn't have any vinyl. Okay, so what does that tell you? It tells you that the dealer sold him some shit that he totally didn't need. A good preamp won't fix a shitty DAC. A killer DAC will outperform a good preamp, depending on how high level your DAC is. The playback designs absolutely outperforms a preamp. I heard some MSB stuff the other day. The guy had 2 different MSB rigs that were set up with no preamp and didn't need the preamp, man. So it's, if someone's selling you a preamp and you don't have vinyl, they're not looking out for you. You know, they're not looking out for you. That's bad advice. You should not buy a preamp if you don't have vinyl. Okay, you should spend more money on the DAC and with a good analog output section. But a DAC without a volume control, this day and age, not the best idea in my opinion, you know. And same with the preamp, man. A preamp becomes a 15,000 for this guy. He impulse bought because of the price. Ooh, it's half price. Ooh. He bought a $15,000 volume control. And the guy who sold it's laughing his way to the bank, you know? It's like, haha, sucker. You just bought a $15,000 volume control that in about 5 years, nobody's going to freaking want at all. Preamps are going to just be dead. Some people in the hobby that really want to have preamps will buy them, but they're going bye-bye. And so it's not a good purchase to buy a preamp right now, especially an expensive preamp. Now, if you want to be the dude that has all the glitzy shit for display, buy a preamp. Buy a preamp with dual mono power supplies. You know, I mean, if you really want to do it, buy a twin preamp with a left and a right side, and then a twin power supply. You know, if you really want to have all the stuff to show off. But the bottom line is, a preamp is not a solid recommendation. So, these people selling to you are not looking out for you, especially the discounters. The last thing they're doing is looking out for your best interest. They're looking out for their best interest. The reason the stuff is sold at half price, because it can't sell for any more. Why? Because it's hoard out product. Those are like prostitutes. They go from hand to hand to hand. They go from John to John to John. They go from your system to Larry's system to Fred's system to John's system, just like a whore does, okay? And that's what these certain products that are sold all the time at half price are. They're nothing more than a whore. And the people that sell them are pimps. They're pimping them out. But that's just my little rant about that. I suggest to buy new with warranty, and buy something that is worth it at its full price. So there are other preamps. I know preamps that I could sell you at full price for 15 grand that would outperform that $30,000 preamp that is being sold used, maybe 5, 6, 8 years old, that is half price. So it's a common way to confuse you guys and make you impulse buy because of price. So anyways, for sure, I showed minor interest online to a dealer and got hounded by the salesman and the owner. Totally. It's a joke. These guys are like, leave me the fuck alone, dude. Like, you know, it's not up to me to make your fucking car payment or whatever the hell they want you to, you know, pay for them. You know, people like me are capitalized. We save our fucking money, okay? So that when shit gets slow, we don't care. We don't need to drop trow and try and squeeze you for your pennies. But like, I mean, and who wants to buy from a pusher, man, anyways? You know, it's just ugly energy. You know, that's my opinion. So I don't even call your ass back, okay? If I tell you, we discuss it, I describe, I ask you questions, I figure out if it's good for your system. Whatever my recommendation is, I make my recommendation. You get your price. That's it. Now I'm not calling you back. That's it. You want to buy from Mikey? You're going to get better service. You're going to get my tuning, and you're going to deal with somebody that has your back, that actually curates your system. But I don't call back. But yeah, it's crazy. I hear people tell me about how they get bugged. And then what's worse to me is when they get talked into shit, when they tell me what they bought, and then they're kind of sore about it. They're like, oh, I bought this thing, this whatever, I won't say the names. I bought a preamp, and oh man, I guess I really fucked up, didn't I? Yeah, dude, you did fuck up. I'm sorry, but this person wasn't looking out for you. Oh, I bought a, this type of thing or that. I hear it all the time, lamenting guys because they encounter good salesmen. You shouldn't buy a piece of audio gear because of a good salesman. You should buy a piece of audio gear because it is an exemplary piece of audio gear and it does its job better and at a fair price than anything else in the marketplace. But the salesmanship of the guy should not have anything to do with it. In fact, the guys that aren't selling you are probably more of the guys that you want than the guys that are trying to silver tongue your ass, so David Freud. Okay, what's up, David Freud? I talked to David Freud earlier. In case you guys might not know David Freud. David Freud is a descendant of Sigmund Freud somewhere along the way, as the story goes. And David is married to Linda, and Linda is a very interesting individual. Linda is a medical intuitive. This means she is, I'm not sure, David, if seer is a correct term. Would love to have Linda on the show sometime. She's very interesting. But David is a good writer. And actually, David's a concert pianist. He used to, well, I don't know, is that proper? He's damn good. And he did play piano in his younger life. And he did play concerts and he did play in bands and he went to Japan on tour playing piano. And I've heard his ass play piano over the phone one time. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, holy shit, David, I can't believe you've held out on me this whole time. You play like a freaking amazing. He's the one that taught me about Keith Jarrett. And David, again, a very interesting individual. Now, David and Linda, Linda can also channel. And this is, of course, metaphysical. So you'd have to have an open mind to something like this. But let's just say she is good enough that they've had a book published. And this is not some just little, POS book. There's David oh no, that's Sigmund probably. But there's, this is there's a lot of material in this book. And it says, exploring the remarkable world of a medical intuitive. Linda Freud bridges science and spirit to channel highly accurate medical information. This is extremely interesting. Using natural remedies, she achieves amazing results for challenging health conditions that have eluded conventional approaches. So doctors use Linda's medical intuition to find disease within some of their patients. And there are doctors that endorse her, and they're in the book. I was trying to see if I could see the page where it is, but she's got endorsements from doctors, Switzerland, across all the way to here. Oh, it's on the back. These MDs, Gabriel Cousins, MD, Director of the Tree of Life Rejuvenation Center, Thomas Rao, MD, Chief Medical Director of a clinic in Switzerland, Dietrich Klinghardt, MD, is an award-winning lead clinician, Comprehensive Medical Center, Director of the Klinghardt Academy of Neurobiology in Bellevue, Washington. So this is a pretty cool book. It's called The Healing Gift. And if you go to David's website, which is thehealinggift.com, I believe it is. Thehealinggift.com. And if you want to email him to david@thehealinggift.com, the phone number will be there, or the email, and you can ask for his phone number. I'm not going to give his phone number out on the internet. Well, maybe AI can't read that. But you can read that if you want to, and call David and talk to him. Very interesting guy. Again, as the Hi-Fi Tribe and the 11 Foundation, David is one of our tribe members. We help to promote what everybody's doing. I think this is a group thing, and it's not just about me and what gear I have and, you know, stupid hi-fi bullshit. It's about helping one another. David Gilden, we just talked to, he's a musician. He sells his own CDs. He's an expert at the African kora instrument. And anyways, so David's book is The Healing Gift, and it's very, very interesting. What is the information that is contained in here? I have a couple other doctor, actual MD client. I got a bunch of MD clients, as a matter of fact. And I love doctors, man. Y'all are the coolest to talk to because you have inquiring minds. That's what I love about doctors is their minds are inquisitive. They want to, they seek to understand, which is very much on par with the way my brain works too. So I love conversations with doctors. And they're open, most of them, to interesting concepts and things like that. And I have one doctor, he's north here in Ringgold, Dr. Greenberg. And he actually does these alternative healing things with vibrational energy. And he's an MD, and he worked in a hospital and all this shit. And then he went, he I don't know if he retired or he just quit from that, but he explores alternative. He believes that we can, the body can overcome most disease without the use of pharmaceuticals. And in certain occasions, look, you have leukemia or something like that, you might need your pill, right? But it's very interesting to understand with light and with vibrational energy and energy work, really, how one can heal the body and heal ailments or just feel better, feel rejuvenated and all this kind of stuff. And so this thing is really cool because it delves into the metaphysical and the alternative. And it talks about, I think it talks about how to clean the body of fungus that we all have. And then what was the other thing? Heavy metals, certain things like that, that we all have that we don't even, you got to detox your body if you really want to get some of the stuff out of it that we, I mean, you know, I mean, this life with all the crap that we eat, we don't know what's in, Jesus, all those ingredients in our food that we eat and all this crap, enriched wheat and all these things. There is a better way. And the food pyramid is not it. And McDonald's is not it, you know, as we all know. But anyway, so get in contact with David, The Healing Gift. Give him some support. And it's a very interesting read. If you don't enjoy your read, your money back. Okay, how about that? That's pretty good. And I'll give that guarantee. I don't know that David does, but I'll give that guarantee. I'll buy your book back if you don't enjoy it, because I've checked it out and it's very interesting stuff. So I wanted to give David that plug, thehealinggift.com. And Linda and David, there's their picture. See, Linda, let's see if we can get it to focus here. It's hard to get it to focus. It's because it's reflecting the screen. But anyways, so yeah, so there's that. Links to streaming. Contact me at Levin Stereo Forum if you want CDs. Okay, so David, get your own website, dude, homie, and then we can send people there. But David, if you go to the 11 Stereo, website and into the forums, you will see David Gilden there, and you can get his music there. Okay, yes, you stopped going to a place you stepped thousands at because my old place just became pushy a-holes. That's what's happening, dude. You know, the dealers are just becoming pushy a-holes. Who wants to buy from a pushy asshole? And the reason is, you know, because they're just, I don't know, some of them, man, live lavish. They got freaking airplanes and they got Lamborghinis and they got all sorts of shit that they need to pay for. And, you know, yachts or whatever. So who knows, man, when going get stuff, and you know what, it's just going to keep getting rougher for them. The more that with the onset of, you know, eventually give it 10 years. I really don't know that hi-fi is even going to be around. You have to understand that people that really give a shit about hi-fi are all these old dudes, Nelson Pass. And I'm not, you know, okay, Nelson, you're not that old. Jeff Rowland, Mark Levinson, these guys are nearing their 80s, right? When those dudes are gone, nobody's going to give a shit. Who else? Who's young making kick-ass designs? Shit. Gashelli Labs And those guys are entry-level ass shit. Now, it doesn't mean it's bad. It just means it's not Jeff Rowland or even freaking close. So when we lose these guys, what are we going to be left with? We're going to be left with corporate entities, you know, the freaking big corporation companies that are no fun to deal with anyways, that are keep getting more expensive, like DCS introducing a $250,000 DAC this year. Ridiculous stuff. What's going to happen to the hi-fi industry? Someday Apple will come in and eat everybody's lunch. Kid yourself not. When Apple decides that the market's big enough to go after, they will eat the ass out of hi-fi, and they'll do it for way cheaper, and it'll be high quality and the cutting edge technology, and we're screwed at that point. It'll only be guys that want nostalgia for old tube amps and old Class A and Class AB. That shit's going to be a thing of the past. So get in while the getting's good at this point, and buy new with warranty. That's my advice. So yeah, you got to watch out for that. Nick, Dan says, hey, yo, what's up, Mikey? Tampa Bay in the house. What's up, Johnson? I just gave my brother a Tampa Bay Buccaneers shirt tonight to use. He needed a shirt, so I grabbed my shirt from my good buddy that I grew up with. Moved to Tampa, and he sent me, when I was down there last time, he gave me a Buccaneer shirt. Hey, Daniel. JNC, hey, Mikey, I'm running an Exogal Comet with a Ferrum Hypsos power supply. Sounds great, but the question is, how much more would I have to pay to get a better sounding DAC? I don't know. I think for $5,000, I would try the audio analog. And let me know, man. I'll send it to you. You put it in your rig, and if it's better, you keep it, man. If it's not, you send it back, and I give you all your money back. It's the best way I can do. Best thing I can do for you. Hey, Charles, what's up? Charles is digging. There's something to medical intuitive gifts. That's right. Charles has got that too, don't you? I practice as a healer for most of my life. That's right. Yeah, cool, Charles. Well, you should check this book out then, The Healing Gift from David. I think they're like, I don't know, $22.95. It's worth it, you know. Negative energy is damaging to an individual. It totally is. And pushy salesman's negative energy, man. You know, it just is. And taking loans, for Christ fucking sake, to buy your hi-fi? What are you, fucking nuts? You're going to take out a loan to get a stereo set? You're going to put yourself in debt over a stereo set? Holy shit. Change your priorities, man. You know? I mean, for 30 days with a credit card, fine, whatever, maybe 60 days or something like that. But I don't carry, nobody can finance on my website. You can't even finance. Why? Because I don't promote you financing your shit. Okay. You go to these other sites, excuse me. You go to these other sites, they will take every damn trade in you got. They're going to give you financing, take your trade, do all this shit, because it's like the street pimp. Man, they are just going to do whatever it takes to squeeze $1 out of you. I'm not that guy. So, you know, some people need to be squeezed in order to make a sale, but I don't ever want to do that. I get 0 returns. Why do I get 0 returns? Because I don't sell people on shit. I don't convince them they need something. They need to convince me that they want it. Okay. And that's a for sure sale. That is a for sure no return. I don't get returns, period. So I don't have to deal with it. That's why I offer free returns, all your money back, no restock fee, because I don't get any. I don't have to deal with it. So I can offer shit like that. But yeah, high negative energy, it is damaging to an individual. There's a lot of that with our cell phones and politics and all sorts of other shit. Man, I can't imagine being a kid can you imagine being a kid trying to grow up in today's world? Like how messed up it would be. Like what a jacked up view of the world would you have? Like the whole world would just seem like such a hustle. Like everybody's hustling everybody. You can't trust anyone. Everybody's full of shit. It's like, because that's kind of like what it is. It's really crazy. We were really lucky to grow up in the 80s. I grew up as a child of the 80s. You know, the 70s actually. Well, let's see. In the 70s, I was very little. But I mean, 80s was my high school, you know. So late 70s to mid 80s, mid 70s to mid 80s was my my formative years. Um, I have the Exogal Comet Plus, and with my modest rig, I'm very happy with its performance. Yeah, because it's a great piece. Music is operational healing. Absolutely. It really is. David has a sound table. It's his name's David too. Isn't it? No, man. Wait. Let me see. What is? I'm getting noise. I'm gonna look. Robert, not David. Sometimes I get Robert and David confused. Bob and Dave. Rob and Bob. Okay, so it is operational healing. Same Jack, just trying to pick Mike's brain on something that might tap it and how much. Audio analog, $5,000. If you have a preamp, okay, then you could go with something for $2,500 that might beat the Exogal, which is the new Ontex. New Ontec. Vibrational. Damn, autocorrect. Yeah, okay. Vibrational healing. Oh, okay, got you. Okay, I was like, okay, operational healing works for me. JNC, good idea. Mikey did review on the Exogal. How much to improve? $5,000. You know, unless because if you use the Exogal's volume control, then you will need the $5,000 audio analog, which is a great piece, and it is better than the new Ontec. But the new Ontec, if you have a preamp, you might try the $2,500 new Ontec, which may beat Exogal. But I would need you guys to let me know. I'm willing to send it and let you guys check it out. Just let me know. The Hypsos power supply made a nice difference, Jack. All positive. Yeah, Ferrum is a great company. In fact, I did a video. I need to post it. What streaming service do you use? I use Qobuz and Tidal. David Cross is not that old. I know. Yeah, but you know, you're not. Younger peeps seem to be into the headphone thing. That's true. I could never get into because it's just sensory overload when I smoke the devil's lettuce. Yeah, I don't know. Headphones to me is not. It's something about this that doesn't make sense. I want this. You know, it's like I'm at a show. I feel better with the music coming to me from a stage, not coming into my ear holes from a freaking mini speaker all up on my ear, you know, making love to my eardrum. Yeah, so I don't like it. Plus, I have an audio rig sounds better than a headphone rig to me, and I've got a sick audio rig, so I don't need headphones. But if I rode on the bus every day, I would use headphones. If I had to commute, you know, on a subway or something, I'd use headphones. If I lived in an apartment, I couldn't have a big rig, probably use headphones. You know, Jordan. Jordan B, where are the F&F largest towers that you brought in? You sell them already? No, and I'm not going to. I am redoing my listening space. So those won't, I'm taking 30 days to redo my room. It's just I'm taking it to a higher level. And because I don't want to put those, my room now was kind of a makeshift thing that I did several years back, man. And I did it on the cheap kind of, and I did it kind of, you know, it's the quick and dirty. It came out pretty good, but it's quick and dirty. So now I'm going to put a little more coin into it and flesh it out a little more and make it a little more elegant, a little more beautiful and flesh it out. Because I'm putting in $105,000 speakers, and I'll be putting in, you know, $100,000 worth of amps, or, well, let's see. No, depends which amps I end up with, but you know, 50 to 100,000 worth of amps. It'll be a $200,000 rig. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. So I don't want to put it in a half-ass room. I'm going to create a gorgeous audio system. These things are so pretty and so amazing looking that they deserve to have a better room. So I'm bringing the room up to a higher level, bringing the amps. I'm bringing everything up to a higher level, but the same DAC, because that's the best DAC there is. Yo, Mikey, we need music with the threat of World War III. You know it. They keep talking about it, but tunage is a lifesaver. Yes, it is. That's for sure. Pronounced tunage. I know what it is. How else would you pronounce that? How else would you pronounce that? Tunage. 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 To get rid of 5G radiation, get a necklace made of shungite. I know exactly what shungite is. I use gold. How about that? I got my gold charms. Look what I got. I got an Aztec warrior with emeralds on it. That came from Colombia from my dad brought it back when he was a kid. This thing is my mother's right here. Oops, this one here. This one was my grandma's. This is like a Catholic saint thing that all Latinas and Latin people use it. She was a Latina. And then this is my mom's. Whoop, where did it go? This thing. My mom used to wear that back when I was a little kid. I remember seeing that on her neck. Yeah, I got shungite somewhere around here. I know about shungite. It's good stuff. Hey, Dave. Hey, Charles, give me a call. Call you tomorrow. I like that idea, Mike. Headphones humping our ears. It'd be funny if you did a little monkey, your headphone, you put a little, maybe I should make a little monkey that clips onto your headphones and he's just like holding it like in position, like hump position, like he's straddling your ears. What cable brand do you use in sale? Virastar. I make it and I sell it. Right there. Charles knows Virastar. Joe Blow, gold works. It does. Mikey, what have you heard about the master fidelity, NADAC, DAC, clock system, DSD based, and apparently a sound which surpasses? Yeah, dude. I gotta tell you that their people are gonna always tell you that some shit is the best shit. Okay. Every new piece that comes out, every new piece, how can NADAC be the best when the $250,000 DCS that's coming out is better? Everybody's going to say the same bullshit. This is better for tonal realism. This is better for other things, whatever. The bottom line is NADAC does not have the history that Playback Designs does. That's my favorite. That's why I keep talking about it. As you know, Playback Designs was designed by Andreas Koch, who designed sample rate conversion. So he is granddaddy digital music. So who is NADAC? I never fucking heard of them, right? Until this year. Like, are they used in recording studios? Maybe one or two. But, MoFi, the company that we all know and love, that I don't really have any care about them because it's for vinyl, right? But they archive all their stuff using Playback Designs. These are guys that are archiving their masters using Playback Designs. So what's NADAC? It's just another freaking name. Master Fidelity. What makes it a master? Does it got a whip and change? It's just whip and change. Whip and chains. What makes it a fucking master? It's just the stupidest shit. Even the name is stupid. Master Fidelity. Whatever. Fuck you. It's like and that's just how and I'm just trying to explain to you how my brain works when I read shit like that. It's like I'm just being jerked off. Really, master, super grand master fidelity, extra double burger cheese on top with chipmunk underbelly and a mink lined interior with gold hooks on the outside and freaking curb feelers and like sunglasses and big tits. I mean, how else do you want to describe it? Master fidelity. That's not fucking master fidelity. It's bullshit, dude. It's marketing shit. So I don't, and NADAC, who are they? Do they, whatever. It's just another fucking DAC that someone's telling me is the best thing. So I don't trust any of that shit. I don't trust any of it. I listen to it, and that's what I trust, my own fucking ears. You should trust your own fucking ears, not what people say, not what you heard somewhere, not what guy said, not what some journalist wrote about, okay? Not what some marketing expert fucking fluffed you on the website when you went. Tell me how it sounds. Send it to me. Let me put it in and compare it to my playback. If you really want to compare tonal realism. I think tonal realism is dependent upon speakers. Okay, I don't give a shit how good your DAC does tonal realism. Certain speakers are not going to play tonal realism. Okay, why? Because they sound like freaking boxes, you know, or they kill the mid bass. Okay, tonal realism, tonality comes in the mid bass. Fisher and Fisher does excellent mid bass. Tad does excellent mid bass. These are two speakers that kill mid bass. They do it better than any other speaker. And when you listen to them, it's obvious. You hear the wood in the piano. You hear the wood in the guitar. You hear the timbre in the vocals. That is tonal depth and tonal shading. That doesn't come, I mean, from a DAC will help that, but I don't give a shit if the DAC does it or not. The speakers are going to either allow it or they won't. They will either translate that or they won't. So I have my favorites, but you know, send me one masturbator fidelity, you know, and I'll try it. You know? I mean, none of this shit means shit to me until I hear it, is the bottom line. So we can talk about, well, they say this and they say that and they say this. That's masturbation. It's like you're stroking for me. You know, oh, it does and this does so eloquently and it has fleshed out mids and dude, don't jerk me off with words. I don't need that. Okay. Put it in my rig or let me come to your place and hear it. Other people, you know, they talk about it, but you can't go hear it. It's like, oh, this Wadax thing. Well, I want to come and hear it. Well, are you going to buy it? Well, no, I'm not going to buy it. I just want to hear it. You know, you're the bitch that works for the manufacturer. It's your fucking job to show it to me. So show it to me. No, I really, unless you're going to buy, I don't really have the time to show to you. That's the shit you get from these guys. So it's like, you know what? It's all bullshit to me. And what you're hearing in my forked tongue and in my exasperation, right? You can hear my frustration, can't you? You can hear my resentment is coming in the tone of my voice. Hear that tonality? Okay. That's real live tone telling you I'm disgusted with this industry. Okay. And I'm disgusted with bullshit terms like master fidelity, like it means something. Do you master fucking recordings with it? No, you don't. Well, why is it called master fidelity? You know, because it's a marketing term, because people think it sounds glorious. Why do you call it, you know, signature ultra reference? You know, it's just total strokage. I'm you're talking to somebody who has been in the industry a very long time on the inside. And after a while, it's gotten to me. As you can tell, it's gotten to me. And it's the reason why I started doing what I do with my channel and being and putting together curating systems for people, because I'm sick of the industry not doing it. I'm sick of the industry being full of shit. So I'm doing something about it. I'm bringing in products that nobody else is. I'm putting my name behind them, I'm selling them, and then I come and I set the systems up and I make sure that they sound phenomenal. I mean, what else can I do? I'm not going to do that forever, you know. Yeah, so that was answering this question, not answering this question. I didn't even get to Preston's question. Can a Maggie 3.6R be modded or fixed to be as good? 3.6R is totally different than a 3.7. What the 3.6R has, which I think you're lucky that you have a 3.6R if you do. If you don't have a 3.6R, you can find many of them on the used market in there for a song. Those do not have the speed that the new ones do. The foil has faster. They're faster, more transient responses, better. The older ones have better mid bass. Here we go. The mid range and the mid bass and bass as well is stronger. Now, I don't use Maggies for bass. I use outboard subs, which Maggies is a whole thing, man. To go into the Maggie thing, you're going into a realm of learning, man, because Maggies are not easy to set up. It's not easy to integrate subs with Maggie. It's not easy to integrate subs with any rig. You can't just plop a subwoofer in, set it to 80, turn it on, and expect that it's going to be good. It's definitely not going to be good in the first position that you put it. And second of all, you need to play with the phase, and you need to do so many things. It takes a long time to integrate a sub. So the 3.6R does better bass. Let me bring it back. 3.6R has better bass than the other one, but it's just not as quick. So it's a different beast. You definitely could not modify it to be like a 3.7i. It will never be as fast as a 3.7i. However, it will have more weight to it than a 3.7i. The 3.7i will be more nimble. 3.6R will have more punch. 3.7i will, you can go back and forth with advantages of each. They're different, but 3.6R is great. I love that thing. Mofi, correct. Since I am mostly listening to vinyl when listening to Quo Buzz, can you hear a difference between 44.1 and 192? Yeah, 192 usually is worse. What it sounds like to me is it gets quieter. So I don't know whether they compress it. I don't know what they do. Maybe they do something so that it has more dynamic range or something, but it's quieter and it seems more subdued. I always have to turn my freaking DAC up louder when it's at 192, when it's been converted, because most of that shit is not recorded at 192. I never like to play anything higher than what it was recorded at. So that means most of the time it's 1644, sometimes 1648, maybe 2492 is as far as I push it. After that, I'm not going any higher because it doesn't get any better. They just start upsampling, which is horrible idea. Play it back in the format in which it was recorded. It's always the best for me anyways. And I keep reminding myself. Just yesterday I was doing it again, listening to it. I hear you, but we've got to admit that Master Fidelity is a better name than Shit Fidelity. Yeah, of course. But it's like master. What's it master of? Does that mean everything else is its slave? Where does master come into it? Like let's tear it apart. Let's pull it apart. What does master mean? Does it mean that they do mastering with it? That would be the only other thing. Master Fidelity. So it has the fidelity of a mastering tape? Highly doubtful. Okay. Maybe that's what they mean. Who knows? I'd like to see if they have who they are. What's their background? How long have they been doing this? Or is it just some new guys that came from the pro audio world that decided they were going to come into hi-fi and come up with a master fidelity, come up with some creative bullshit words that we use in high end, and then make a transition from pro audio into hi-fi. There's many pro audio companies that wish to rake the dollars that we do in the high-end audio. And so they come in and they change their names, they change the chassis, and they goose it out, or they juice it up, or they bling it out. And it's just, you know how many companies do that? Berkeley, what's that other one from Canada? Fuck. I'm gonna drop it. Berkeley is one of them. Oh man. Oh man. Brain fart, dude. I mean, this is like getting old. I need to take some sort of nootropics or something. Maybe you need to eat some shrooms. But I can't remember there's a bunch. There's a handful of pro audio guys. They try and make it rich coming over to hi-fi. I have no patience for them. It's like, dude, you come in and come with your names and all your shit. It's so obvious you're just trying to play dress up. You're coming to our party from your job, and you're coming to our party and then you're playing dress up. And it's like, nobody really wants another DAC, dude. That's the last thing we need is another DAC with a bunch of like promises, Hey, Mikey, Kemper is hanging with your tribe. What's up, Kemper? Did you find out any info from Fisher & Fisher about their new driver tech? No, I didn't. But now that I'm going to contact him right now because, see, if I get off onto something else, that's how quick I forget. Let me do this here. Hi, Thomas. Hope you are well. Any result with Michael and his new driver? And let's see what he says. So I will let you know. Masturbator DAX rule. I know, man. It's like how you can't put master in there without just totally opening the door for that name. You know, what is my thought on Joseph Audio Pulsars? Joseph, this funny, Lisa. Is this Lisa? Are you a female on here right now, or is this some dude using his wife's account? I'm just curious because I'm just curious. Anyway, it doesn't matter, but I'm curious. I was just funny that you mentioned Joseph Audio because I was just talking to somebody about Joseph Audio. Joseph Audio is a great brand. I really like them. They sound good. Jeff designs good speakers. What else can I say? I haven't looked at their pricing schedule to see like how they're priced and how they compare with the rest of the market. I think speakers can a lot of times get out of hand sometimes with pricing when they start getting near $100,000 and they're still little guys, you know, or they're 60 grand and they're still little guys, you know. So, but man, Joseph Audio is legit. Like there is nothing I can say bad. That is good stuff. Any way you slice it, dice it. And Jeff Joseph consistently knows how to put together a room. The worst best thing guy I always see around AudioGun is some guy's named TJ. People buy his crap like a bunch of sheep. Oh yeah, man. There's you know, these Pied Pipers, I call them on AudioGun, and you know they're shills. Okay. The reason I know that is because I had a dealer idiot that I know in Canada, and it's not Audio Excellence, and it's not Angela, it's another jackass. But and he called me up to get me to provide my cables to their shill network on AudioGun. And I don't know who TJ is. Is he TJ the bargain audiophile or some shit like that? Who knows what he is, but I don't even know who he is. I don't know anything about him. But these guys that just like you say, man, everything every month, it's the new best thing, new best thing, new best thing. And the crazy part is, like you say, the people eat it up. I mean, it's like a bunch of idiots that just going to slaughter, you know? Wake up, guys, man. I mean, you got to know who is selling you the stuff, and if they keep having new stuff. Look at my DAC, man. Same DAC for 4 years, same Roland amps I've been using all along. Do I keep flipping products on your ass to try and rehash and sell all you the new greatest thing? No, I don't. Why? Because I pick the actual real good shit that is actually good, that doesn't need to be changed every year, that isn't changed every year, that actually has staying power. So, you know, screw the new best thing. That's just baloney. Mikey, you've mastered mid-bass strokage. You know it, man. The Maggie Tech in Minnesota recommends per listen subwoofers. What do you think? No, that's what I think. They're Chinese, man. No. If you're going to buy a Chinese subwoofer, don't buy, what's their name? Rhythmic Audio. RYTHMIK. Rhythmic Audio makes servo-controlled subs. They're much better for Maggies because they can keep up with the Maggies. So get yourself, and then you put them in H-frame, or you can buy them in the boxes. It doesn't matter. The H-frame you have to make yourself. That's kind of a drag. You just get yourself a servo-controlled rhythmic sub. It'll be less than the per listen, and you know it's not. Per listen has their own factory where the workers live there. Okay, so you're talking about master. Okay, maybe they should call their speakers master because they actually have slaves that live on premises. They feed them, they sleep there, they everything there. Okay, that's horrible. Don't they have their own subs? Maggies do have their own subs, but they're not that good. They're what do you call panel subs which bottom out. If you don't play loud, they're fine. If you don't play rock, they're fine. But if you turn it up, they slap. And I don't mean slap in a good way. Another Exogal user here. Great DAC. I use it with Maggie 1.79. I'm curious about a different power supply. Ferrum. Not Ferrum. Farad. Farad. Okay. These are the guys that you want. They're from Netherlands. Ferrum, I have no idea. Is it Chinese? It might be. Farad or Keese's. Keese's is made in Taiwan. It's not China, but I've got them on the 11 Stereo website. Kesey's has been pretty good, but I actually think that the Farad, Farad, are better. I'll have them on my site. If you want them, let me know. They're just not up on my site yet. I carry them. They're not on my site. Upsampling, totally. What is your thoughts on upsampling because it damps the sound? Just got it. Okay. What is your thoughts on expensive streamer? It's bullshit. Lung, sun, whatever. It is no. Nothing. I say nothing past. I mean, look, okay, so I'm talking about like the $20,000 streamers, all that kind of stuff. If you're in the playback designs, the most expensive streamer I suggest is 11,500, and that is for the playback design streamer because it's designed to go with the DAC and it sounds great and they're terrific together. That is that. Rhythmic subs are chi-fi. Yes, they are. Matt Rangers, what's up, Florida man? At the back of the MPD-8, there are 2 sets of analog outputs. Are they all active? Yes, they are. So I can send the XLR signals out to my monoblocks and the RCAs line out to my sub. Correct. Ferrum is Polish. Okay. Frenulum. That's on the ferrum makes me think of frenulum. Look up frenulum. I've got many frenulums. What's up, frenulums? I need to start saying that, just like friends, right? What's up, frenulums? You're my frenulum. Frenulum. Look up frenulum and find out what it is. It's the chin strap, or it's this thing. This is the frenulum. That part. What do I have? Oh, I was going to talk about one thing. I can't remember what I was going to talk about. Was it going to be nope. I've got a pretty good subject that I've got brewing that I've been it's a pretty good one, man. It's a meaty subject. But I can't leak it until I develop the story a little bit more with some collaborators. But I'm going out. I'm gathering information. And what did I hear today? Oh, what I heard today is that Krell is for sale. Krell is in bad shape. And if someone wants to buy it, it's up for sale. As you know, Dan DiAgostino's wife, Rondi, ran it, owned it. Well, she dropped dead not too long ago. And now it's loose, and who knows who's got it, or it's prime for a fire sale right now. So I'd be really careful buying Krell. I wouldn't buy Krell right now. I would wait to see what happens, but it's for sale. I also heard that Harman International is struggling in some way, shape, or form because they just slashed the price of, I'm going to give you a little inside information. If anybody's trying to sell you Mark Levinson or what are the other Harman brands? Whatever are in the Harman group, okay? What the allegation is, I'm not saying this is truth. I'm saying that this is a rumor. The rumor is that maybe they are slashing their dealer costs. So their dealers are maybe able to buy things right now at half of dealer cost, which means that dealer could sell to you stuff from Harman Group at half price and still double his money. That's just what may be true, may not be true, may be a lie, may not be a lie. You may want to turn the screws to somebody if you feel like it for any of those brands, which I don't consider to be good brands, but everybody has their own prerogative. So there's a little tidbit of information. Oh, what else came up? What else can I think of? I don't know. Ask questions, you guys. I can't come up with everything. Weren't you going to discuss Veristar? No. How about hi-fi stands? What are you going to be, a dealer? Yeah. Live Vibe audio from America. All by Krell. Well, call them up, brother. You probably pick them up for under $1 million. I've heard that the price was $1 million, but I think you could take it for half that. Better know what the fuck you're doing. That's all. Because you just buying an audio company like that, I've done it. It is not for the faint of heart. Is Jeff Rowland going to release a replacement for the 535 slot above? Yeah, absolutely. It's you're not aware of this, Kemper? It's called the 555. I've already sold like 8 of them. I've got another one. I'll be using them in my rig. I'm going to compare it against. I'm going to get a 2-day air tomorrow because I want to compare it to the Viola and the AA DAC. I'm sorry, the Donizetti that I have in the rig right now. I've been comparing those two, a $35,000 amp to a $14,000 amp. They're both one's 250, the AA DAC, I keep saying that. The Donizetti amp is 250. The Viola is 200 watts. But what a great sounding amp. Damn, that Viola Labs is really some good sounding shit. It is, however, borderline analytical. It is so transparent and accurate that I see why the mastering engineers use it. You really have to have your front end sorted because it is borderline. Okay. The Donizetti is smooth, baby. That is, Robert Plant and the Honey Drippers. Like it's smooth, not the music, but I was just saying that because honey, smooth as honey. Okay. But that is a very smooth amplifier. So that amp, Donizetti, would be great with like Focal or something like that. Now I'm breaking it in right now, and I want to see if any of that, if it becomes more transparent, because it's definitely on the musical side of things, which is very nice to listen to. And also, you can play frickin' loud, and it does not hurt your ears when it's mellow like that, when it's soft like that. And it's not rolled off, but it's just definitely leans to the sweet side. And now I want to bring in Roland because Roland is 15K too. And if I can get an amp that's right in between those two, in between that lucidity and on the bleeding edge, and between the musicality and the smoothness of the Donizetti, I'm hoping Roland's going to be right dead in the middle, and then that's what I'm after. So yeah, it's called the 555. It's a really good Class AB amp. JBL. Ferrum is great stuff. Check some of the reviews. Neil. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I know. I've heard it's good, but these guys, the Farad guys, they're high level. They're special. They're not just good stuff and great stuff. I mean, I think they might be revolutionary. I need to get some of it in here and listen to it. Isn't Harman owned by Samsung? Probably. Maybe that's part of why it's going to shit. Maybe that's part of why they're slashing their prices to their dealers. Who knows? What's your opinion of T plus A? Yeah, I don't. When I've heard it, I've thought it's a little bit analytical. That's my taste of it, is that it's just excruciatingly analytical, or excruciatingly accurate, rather. So it's not really my cup of tea. I've not heard TNA and wanted it. So a lot of times that's how I judge how much I like something or not is do I want it? Do I hear it and go, oh my God, I got to have it, because then I'll just get it. So I never got that, from TNA, T plus A. I always call them TNA, but T plus A. What stands do you recommend for Maggie 1.7i, or should I drill holes in the stock stands and add live vibe spikes? Yeah, that's the easiest thing to do, is to drill holes and run live vibe spikes through it. That's what I did with mine. You don't need, if you really want to go cuckoo, you put in steel strut legs, which you can find on McMaster car, and you drill the same, and you drill through the front of your styles, and you put a carriage head, and you put an upright on the back, and you make that bastard rigid with a 90 on the back, or I mean a 45 on the back support, so that it goes like this, that comes down like that. And then you got a super rigid Maggie, and then you put that shit on live vibe spikes. Then you're in the high cotton. Then that is as good as you can go. But an interim method, the first step is to drill the Magnepan feet and put live vibe cones in there. Lots of sellers, even of the ultra high end, are trying to sell it while the market is still up. Maybe that's why they're squeezing. Good luck to them. They're pissing people off. JNC, what voltage do you use on your Exogal? 16.5 Neil. I can't keep up with this. 120. Sorry, yeah, that's a better number. Steve D. Hardy, she's my little TNA. She's my little rock and roll. Her tits are napped in a 10 out of town now. She's my little shoop. That's good music, man. A lot of audio systems can't play Rolling Stones. Rolling Stones is a great torture test. So is Audio Slave. That's a good one, man. And Radiohead Creep. Creep is that's a torture test, man. You have to be able to play Creep and get through that guitar, and that guitar has to sound like good crunchy guitar and not make your ears bleed. So anyways, we're at an hour. I'm not going past an hour tonight. I'm tired, man, and I got to run. I got shipping, and I got product to ship tomorrow, people to take care of. But anyways, thanks everybody for joining. I appreciate you. Love you all. This is brought to you by the 11 Stereo Foundation. You're going to see more of that coming up soon. If you haven't given a thumbs up and subscribed to this channel, please do that now. And thank you so much. I will see you guys later. See ya.